Okay, so this is a bit of a tough one. This is Prince Kassad versus General Alexander, but I can't build any units. So that means we're not building anything from the command center, supply stash, barracks, arms dealer, or airfield if we capture one. So with our worker, we're building a supply stash off to the right, away from the resources. We're just doing that to get the worker count up. So this is the only way we're going to get extra workers, is by spending $1,500 over and over again. So other rules, we can use rocket troops from the tunnel networks, again because we're not actually building those, and rebel ambushes are also allowed for the same reason. So with our workers, I've got one that's going to build a barracks and the other that's going to build another supply stash. Now, as you can see, I got a few scaffolds there that's going to bait out the A-10 strike. So with the A-10 strike, it goes on cash value. And when she prompts the hold the line from a strategy center, that's a good indicator for you to cancel those scaffolds and get your money back. The A-10s will hit that spot, and that means that you won't take any damage. Now, with our workers, I'm going to move my workers to the front. So I got 3 workers total now. Now, I should get some resources as well, maybe get a couple to build defenses, but truth is, I can't exactly do that because she hits so hard and fast, and I need to get some defenses going. And now this is a little bit of an experiment here, because this is like the 5th attempt where I versed Alexander with Prince Kassad. The other 4 or so attempts, I didn't even last 10 minutes. So my strategy here was to build a few tunnels to get the rocket troops, and then use the rocket troops to take out the artillery platform. But I also need to get some stinger sights to counteract the Comanches and the bombers too.
Building construction is what I must. Do not hurt me. That is a lot of work. I will try to hurry. I'm hungry.
Beautiful. So 3 stingers on the go. Now I'm using my sneak attack so then I can attract the attention of the platform there. And I'm just hoping that those Comanches don't fly in at the wrong time, but here they come now. And I got 1 stinger sight up, but thankfully for me, the other 2 Comanches stayed out of the game here. They didn't want to attack. They just, for whatever reason, maybe it was because I did camo netting on my command center, I'm not really sure. But the Comanches in this battle are a little bit weird. Sometimes they'll just stay in one spot and not do anything. Other times they might do sort of like a wiggle movement with their flight path. Now I should have seen this coming. So when you make an early attack on the artillery platform, she does the Chinook attack as well in response. So this one is mainly Rangers and rocket troops, which is very bad for me. So I should have known that, and I should have kept the workers out of harm's way. So there's my first mistake right there. Now, we did take out the platform there, so we can get a supply stash up to build some, to get some resources going over there.
Oh, was that supposed to keep me out of your base, General?
And since I don't have enough cash, I decided I'll sell my buildings and recoup my losses, and hopefully my base defenses can counteract those infantry there. Now, one of the workers that I sent, he was hiding behind a tree, and he actually got taken out. So now I've got a stinger sight, and the worker that's running, that's the only worker we got left. So this is kind of a dire moment right away. We need to be able to get this worker into a tunnel ASAP. And the other Chinook comes. So with the other Chinook, that one's got a Pathfinder. And I'm getting chased down by the Pathfinder. I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Get to the tunnel, get to the tunnel. I was freaking out. So that was not a good start. Now, with General Alexander, she was supposed to launch a particle cannon at me. Now, the particle cannon is normally going to aim, that particle cannon is normally going to aim at barracks or supply stashes. Now, I ended up using my sneak attack because if you spawn a sneak attack on top of infantry, it can do damage to the infantry. So that's why we did that, just to try and soften them up. Now, A10's come by, I lost another Stinger, and I'm just praying that my tunnels and Stinger sight are going to be enough.
Our base is in peril. I'm hungry. If that is what you want.
So, we just about lost the command center. I try and sell it off, but I'm just a little bit too late. So, she's still got, what, like 3, 6, 8 rocket troops plus a sentry drone. So, it's not looking good for me. This does not bode well. Now, I could also use my own rocket troops, but I thought maybe it would be better to keep them around so they can act as some form of defense against the Comanches that will come by later. See, these guys, like the Sting Sight and the tunnel, they're sort of putting in the work there. But I can't build anything else, so I decide I'm going to try and get my worker to repair the tunnel a little bit. That way the tunnel can finish off those 2 rocket troops there. So just like that, we've survived the first wave. So I got 1 worker collecting, I got 6 rocket troops, a tunnel network, and 1 more worker. Now, there's a lot of speed ups in this battle, just so you know. Now, I did that because there's a lot of like just me sitting here and waiting for things to happen or things to be ready, that sort of thing. And this is the longest challenge that we've done. This battle lasted for 2 hours and 15 minutes according to the timer in the top right corner. And going off my recorded footage, I got it down to about 1 hour 6 roughly. Now with the particle cannon, she's gone for supply stash. We sell it off in time and we can get another supply stash a little bit later on. So that's what I was saying. The particle cannon that's firing is only going to go for barracks or supply stashes. Now, those 2 scaffolds, that was going to be my bait for the A10 as well. So with the A10 strike, it's always going to happen right after the particle cannons hit. So right now she does have 2 other particle cannons. Now, there's a reason why those ones aren't firing. So one of those particle cannons is designed to only go for arms dealers, and the other one is designed to go for tech buildings, so palaces and black markets in this case. Now, if we get to the point in the battle where we do have black markets, then she will prioritize the black markets over the palaces. And that's just because it's further up on the tech tree. Now, with our worker, I forgot I didn't have a barracks. I was about to start building stinger sites again. That way I could counteract the Chinooks if they sneak into my base one more time. Yep, so doing pretty well. Got the sell-off on the stash one more time. So we're able to recoup our money from that. And we'll be able to build up another stash. And that'll give us another worker to play with. So that's the thing. Worker count is so important here because if we get to a point where like we're down to our last worker, which we do get to that point a few times in the battle, but going down to 1 worker means that I've got to take a lot of risks. Now, I did lose quite a bit from that exchange with the 3 Comanches. I did get the rank up, but with the rank up, it's only going to get me rank 2. I need to get the rank 3, but I also need to get a command center in order to utilize the general powers from that. So with one of our other workers, we got a few stingers off to the left, so that'll be able to counteract the Chinooks that sneak into our base from that side. Now we're just basically biding our time, waiting for the cash to come in, and just hoping that she doesn't do anything else that's bad for me. I do build a stinger site next to this supply stash because I know that there's a sentry drone nearby and there's also a spy drone nearby too, so that's going to get a little bit of EXP. But if she does send in more Comanches or bombers, I can pick those off a little bit more easily. Now these are the stealthy stinger sites, which is actually kind of a bad thing for me because it means that the bombers are going to prioritize supply stashes and workers over base defenses. Now here she comes. This is what I'm saying. She's picking off my supply stashes, and I've lost my workers. I have to sell off my buildings, so I've just lost control of my base again.
This has been fun, General, but I think it's
And I'm stuck with 2 workers.
I'm hungry. Yes. Are there not better we live in peace?
So what I'm doing next is I'm getting some barrack scaffolds, and I'm trying to lure the Comanche into my stinger sights, and the Comanche's just not taking the bait. He's not buying it. So I'm like, okay, well, what else can I do here? So I end up building a barracks in a safe spot, and I thought, okay, well, if I get a barracks, then it means I've got access to stinger sights and tunnel networks again. And I decide we'll build some stinger sights on the other side, that way we can pick off the other planes that come by. Now I went for tunnel network scaffold because it's small enough to fit between the 2 stingers, and then that was enough to lure out the Comanche. Now with 1 worker, I ended up moving him into my base. Completely forgot about the fact that there's 2 other Comanches, so that was a total goof on my part. But I guess the only bit of good news out of that is that it did bring the Comanches closer to my sting site. Now, well, it didn't get the sell-off on the supply stash that time, so that does mean we're going to lose a little bit of cash from not reselling.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, General.
Now, with the A-10 strike, I wanted to make it so the A-10s would hit my scaffold and my stinger sight, because I didn't want it to go for anything else, but it ended up going for a stinger sight off to the left, which I think that was just a positioning thing. You know, 2 stinger sights together is $1,800, so not really sure how she got to that, because as a stash plus a stinger sight is like $2,400, and it's all based on cash value. So we're still hanging in there, barely. And we're just shy of that rank 3 as well. Once we get to rank 3, things can start to change a little bit. And here's another speed up. Just again, we're just trying to wait on things to happen. We got our barracks back up so we can build base defenses 1 more time. And I can't exactly lure the Comanches to my side, so I settled for another sting site. I thought 2 stingers are better than 1. And it does also mean that those 2 base defenses could be a prime target for a next A-10 strike, so I did factor that in as well. But I wasn't too fussed about the A-10s hitting those 2 base defenses. It was sort of like a minor loss.
General, our enemy is using their particle cannon.
So yeah, we baited the particle cannon. This time we're using rocket troops to lure out the Comanche. So we got one of the Comanches to come closer.
Well done, General.
And you would think that I'd have to lure out the other one. No, for some reason the stinger sight can actually hit the other Comanches. So that's some really good luck on my part. So now I can focus on trying to reclaim my base again. So there's that A-10 strike that I mentioned. So yeah, kind of a fair trade. She A-10s my base defenses, I take out her Comanches. So I did win that little bit of trade there if we're talking about cash value. Now here's the thing, we do get the Rebel Ambush, and we also went for GPS Scrambler and the level 1 bounty. And you're like, what are you thinking? So level 1 Rebel Ambush is all we need, so then we can start capturing wheel derricks. GPS Scrambler, I was trying to take care of my workers. If I use the Scrambler on the workers, I can protect them against the Comanches and potentially the bombers as well. So Alexander did a Chinook strike. Now, I was prepared for it earlier when I had 3 stinger sights, but all the other attacks have brought me down to 1, so now I'm forced to retreat.
Do not hurt me.
And this was a dumb move. I shouldn't have done this. I tried building a tunnel network. I thought maybe I'd have enough time to get the tunnel up before those infantry make their way towards my, I don't know if you would call this a base, but
I will obey.
now the Chinook that drops off to the left is always going to have a pathfinder. So just like that, we've lost another worker. So the worker building the command center, that's one of our last workers. I think I have one more in the tunnel.
I'm just a peasant.
And yeah, I decided, no, that's enough. So I cancel out the command center, and yeah, I did have another worker in that tunnel. Now, I didn't know about this at the time, but if you cancel the command center scaffold after you get the cash bounty, you're still going to retain the benefits of the cash bounty. So there's still a little bit of a benefit to that. Now, remember, this tunnel that's getting destroyed, that's the last tunnel we got. And we lose that, we lose the 2 workers inside. So barely survived. I just barely evacuated 1 worker. So the 1 worker who's got like 1 HP. So we're really hanging on by a thread here. Now, another thing you might have noticed is, hold on a minute, all your buildings just got destroyed. Why didn't you lose? And with the General's Challenge, the rules are a little bit different compared to skirmishes. So in this case, in order for you to beat your opponent, you have to destroy all their buildings, but in order for them to beat you, they have to destroy all of your buildings plus all of your units too. So because of that, we're able to stay in the
I
game
have some shoes.
just that little bit longer and hope that we can pull something out.
The warrior is
Building
fallen.
construction has been completed.
And disaster struck again. We lost a worker.
Our
So
enemy is using their particle cannon.
what's just happened? She's got a sniper camping inside my base. So in other words, in order for us to actually get back into our base, we have to find the sniper in our base, and the snipers are stealthy.
Looks
I was
like
like,
you're losing, General.
what the hell do I do? I was like,
I can't build there.
I should probably give up by this point. I nearly lost my last worker from that.
Does it have to be so far?
So yeah, a tunnel network, a stinger site, 1 worker, 1 command center. This is like the lowest of the low, and I'm down to my last 900 bucks too. So we got to really, you know, knuckle down here and actually pull something out here, because we just this is like disastrous. So I got our command center, and first plan, I was just using my powers and hoping for the best. Clearly that did not work. And with the rebels, like, by hoping for the best, I was just hoping that the Pathfinder would reveal himself, then I could take some shots on the Pathfinder. But that's kind of a bad idea, because if I just give the Pathfinder enough rebels to play with, it's going to rank him up. And if the Pathfinder gets to vet 2 or vet 3, it means that they'll start to self-heal. And that's really bad news, because we means that whatever damage we can do will be negated later on. So now we're just chilling out, waiting it out. She's still got 3 particle cannons ready to go, but because our only building is a command center, she cannot launch any of the particle cannons. So my next strategy here was to use the rebels as well as the sneak attack on the left side where that Chinook got to me. So I threw 3 rebels inside the tunnel, and I was about to capture the oil derricks, and then I realized, oh, we never got the capture building upgrade. Uh-oh. So there goes another plan. We at least keep the rebels for a little bit.
We will not be hindered. No cost is too great. Yes, I go.
Fools rush in, General. I take my time.
So I came up with another plan. So with the rebels, I thought, okay, if I can't capture anything, I can at least use these guys as spies. So I thought, if I use them as spies, then I could potentially zero in on the location of the Pathfinder. Because if the Pathfinder shoots down my rebel, then that gives me a better indication as to where the Pathfinder is. But even just having those rebels just chilling out in certain sections of my base, that also does help with me zeroing in on the position. Now, I made a kind of a dumb move by building a barracks there, because it's like, I don't have a follow-up here. You needed $1,000 to get a capture upgrade, so there's no other way for me to get any money right now. Now, I used my rebel ambush where the particle cannon is, off to the right. Now, this is kind of wrong place, wrong time when it comes to the Comanches. I decided to spam the stop button because I know that if you keep the rebels in that spot long enough, she will sell off the particle cannon. So my original goal was to try and pick off the 2 Avengers there to get some cash from the cash bounty. But we did at least take out the particle cannon, so that particle cannon that she sold off, that's the one that's designed to go for barracks and supply stashes. So with that, it means that I can freely build supply stashes and barracks again without the risk of having to sell off. Now, I used the sneak attack, and I forgot that the sneak attack can reveal stealthy units. So now we know where the Pathfinder is. The next question is, how do we destroy the Pathfinder? And good news is, the Pathfinder is only Vet 1. So the Vet 1 means that he can't self-heal. So, good news all round. So here's the plan. I'm using my sneak attacks and spawning him on top of the Pathfinder, and that's the only way I can damage the Pathfinder. And as you can see, it's going to take more than one sneak attack to destroy a Pathfinder like this. Now, I used my rebels to spawn in on the island with the oil derrick. Now, I got one rebel to stay hidden, the other 3 not so much. I gave up on that. So we do lose those rebels, but I still have one chilling out, and we can utilize him a little bit later on. Now, the A-10s are picking off, you know, singular rebels. So, still just shy of destroying the Pathfinder. 1 HP left, so we're going to need one more sneak to take him out, and then we can reclaim our base one more time. And with the rebels, I decided to sneak them in and get the cash piles that's on the top left corner of the map. So with that, it means I can build a barracks, I could build a supply stash. So with barracks, I could go straight to capture upgrade, and then I could go for the oil derricks. Now we finally use our sneak attack, and we're just trying to carefully position it. We got 30 bucks and we took out the Pathfinder. Now with our worker, we can go back to main base, and we can actually build what we need to build.
I do what I am told.
And yeah, those A-10s were targeting my worker there. So if I didn't move the worker out the way, I would have lost him, and that would be the end of the battle. So I went for supply stash, then I changed my mind. I thought, you know what, barracks plus capture upgrade would probably be the better move here. And I was about to go camo, and it was no, capture upgrade. That's the one you want. I would have been in a little bit of trouble. Actually, I would have just gotten the cash pile, the other cash pile in the top left corner if I made that mistake, but in any case, we didn't. So we're going to get our rebels to spawn in, get the other cash pile. Now we're doing a little bit better cash-wise. We've got 2 oil derricks. part of me didn't want to capture them because I don't have anything to defend it. And that's the thing, the Comanches could get to the oil derricks sooner or later, and then it means that I'm going to have to find a new way to get money. So with the workers, we've got a new supply stash, we've got another scaffold. Again, we're just trying to bait out the A10s, but she didn't buy it. The workers kind of increased the value of the supply stash there. I should have built a second stash that would have meant that the A10s would go for that, but no guarantee I would have been able to spot it in time to get the cancel off.
Our work is complete. I will obey.
Now we can collect some supplies again. This time round, I thought, you know what? I would be better off just having one get the resources. That way, if I get attacked by a bomber, I don't lose both workers and be forced to quit out. So with our other worker, we repair the command center and we go back in. And you're just slowly biding our time. And I do what I said I was going to do, get a second scaffold. There's a little bit of overlapping on this map, but it doesn't normally happen when it comes to supply stashes. So here she comes, she's destroying my sneak attacks. I'm like, nah, we're going to get the worker out of here quick. I tried going for camo netting so then the Comanches don't shoot down the buildings. So I was able to get it off with the barracks, but I couldn't get it off with the supply stash there. And yeah, to add insult to injury, she's targeting the other sneak attack off to the far left. So once again, I've lost control of my base.
What do you want with me? This is hard work.
So I was about to go sting aside. I went for supply stash, 1 for bait, 2 for the extra worker. And we're just speeding things up again. This is, again, another point where not a lot happens. So with our workers, just trying to get some stinger sites up in the other sections. That way we can pick off the Comanches and the bombers. Now, I tried to spawn rebels in on top left corner. Didn't work out. We did take out the Avenger, though, so that's going to get us a little bit of cash. So while we wait, as you can see, there was like 3 more Comanches where the other oil derrick was on that island with the rebel. So that's a reason why I'm not capturing the oil derrick until much later on in the battle. It's just I did not want to take the risk, especially with so few workers remaining.
You don't know what to expect from me, do you?
And yeah, here's the cool thing, she's just not moving her Comanches in the right way. So we lost a tunnel network, but we're getting free XP from the other Comanches there, so I'm definitely going to take it. And we've almost got a rank up here, so when we get that rank up, that's going to be rank 4. So I could go for level 2 Rebel Ambush or level 2 Cash Bounty too. And as you can see, we're now doing pretty well cash-wise with nearly 13 grand. So, next plan, I want to try and make some moves on the top right corner. So, this was roughly when I lost my oil derricks, and I didn't know it. So, I wasn't paying enough attention to how much cash I actually had, and I was just focusing more on all the other aspects of the battle here.
The warrior has fallen.
So, with this attack that I'm doing, I did this one completely wrong. So, I should have sold off the power plant much sooner, so then I could get the tunnel up much sooner. And then that way I'd have more units to go and attack us. So I shouldn't have even bothered sending those rocket troops to attack. That was completely stupid on my part. So we just wasted those guys. And another thing is, like, by popping them out the way I did, they were very clustered together.
Think about it.
See, if I was if I handled that better, I could have had the units a bit more spread out, and then I would have had a better shot at destroying that Patriot.
Are there not better tools? What do you want with me? I will do the best I can.
Yep, so now that the attacks have failed, I gotta get my defense back up, I gotta get my workers up as well. GPS on the workers, make sure they're invisible. And we're just being very careful where we place our stinger sights now. So, we got the rank up. I went for the level 2 rebel ambush. Again, I didn't know my oil derricks were gone. If I'd known that, I would have gone for the level 2 bounty. With the level 2 rebel ambush though, I was thinking, okay, well if I got more rebels, then maybe I could be better off when I do the attacks in that top right corner like I did before. So if I had the chance to redo this, I would definitely go for a level 2 cash bounty. Absolutely.
Are you rethinking the wisdom of attacking me, General?
Our work is complete. Oh, okay, I will work.
Our land must be preserved.
I will obey. Does it have to be so far? I will try to hurry.
And really trying to bait out that last Comanche there. So in the end, I went for sneak attack. Didn't really have any other purpose for the sneak attacks at that current point in the battle, and I go for tunnel network next. I thought if I, start building it up, then the Comanche will get a little bit closer and the stingers could pick it off. Didn't happen though.
I'm just a peasant.
And by sending I sent a worker inside one of my tunnels. That was a bad move because I've got, one space to put the rocket troops inside. So I did lose one of my guys. So I did lose the oil derrick. So this is when I realized that I lost the oil derrick. So it took me 6 minutes after the fact for me to realize that I've lost my oil derricks. So now I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is a problem. I gotta change up my plan here. Because again, my original plan was to try and take control of the top right corner. Now, the top right corner, you got all of those power plants. But if you can build enough stinger sights or get enough rocket troops in that top right corner, then you could fend off the Comanches, but also capture a power plant or two, so then that'll increase your building speed later.
Our work is complete. Oh, okay, I will work. Yes, I guess I should help out.
General, our land is being attacked.
So now we're just trying to think of a new plan, because I'm not going to commit myself to that top right corner attack now. I need to commit myself to getting more cash. I need to get another oil derrick, and there's only 2 more oil derricks on this map here. The one that's off to the right, and the one that my rebels on the island for. So I could capture the one on the island. It's just the problem with that is that she's just going to take it out shortly after. So here she comes with the bombers now. At this stage of the battle though, it's kind of a good thing that she's attacking me with the bombers, because 1, they do give you good EXP, but 2, the cash bounty. So I do go in with the rebels, and I do a sneak attack, and it's cutting it pretty close here. I've got more rocket troops to play with this time, and they're not clustered together like last time.
There they are.
I put that there for a reason.
Yep, so got a little bit of extra EXP out of that one, but like I said before, it's probably not the best move. I probably should have focused more on getting the oil derricks sooner. See, I'm sort of like prioritizing other targets that don't really need to be targeted just yet.
Guarding the GLA underground.
So yeah, with the workers, we're kind of getting hard up for cash, so I take the risk. I put more than one near the supply stash to gather the resources. If we get hit by a bomber though, then it's going to be big trouble for those workers, so I'm praying that nothing bad happens. Now we've got 2 guys inside the tunnel network, so I've at least got spares in case the worst does happen, and we've got enough tunnels that will keep them alive. So I'm very tempted to spawn in with the rebels and try and capture that supply center. I changed my mind though. I didn't have a good enough follow-up. If I have some rocket troops, then I could follow that up a lot better, because I could use those to destroy the art platform or even destroy the supply center with the rocket troops themselves. So here come the bombers. We only lost one of the workers from that supply stash, so that's actually really good. So with these 2, we're just building a couple more sting sites. That way we're protected in case she does do any more Chinook attacks. Plus the tunnel network that's going to get built there too is going to be decent anti-infantry. So we could do a little bit of damage if she does decide to go in for the Chinook strike.
I am finished. What do you want with me? If that is what you want, I am finished with the building.
Realized I didn't have the cash. I was like, no, okay, no 3rd stinger site yet. So let's get a new supply stash, and then that way we can get the money up one more time, and the work account. Just as I build it though, he destroys it. Good news though, is that with that strike we got the rank 5. This time we're getting rank 3 cash bounty. We need that so much. Now with rank 3 cash bounty, a lot of her units cost about 2 grand. So the Avengers and the Bombers, they're 2 grand a piece. So if you destroy those, you're going to get $400 out of that. Now I tried doing an anthrax bomb near the war factory, and it didn't make it. So I was going for the Avengers there. She's got quite a few Avengers near that war factory. If we destroy those, we're going to get a major cash injection there, so a little over 2 grand. So now I'm starting to make some moves on the oil derrick. I thought, okay, well, with these guys, I could destroy the Avenger. I could also path them around, so then they're distracted. Bad timing, though, because of the Comanches. So just like that, we end up losing our guys that we just built up. Yeah, once again, I just got to bide my time, wait for the cash to increase, and I can start building other things. So I need to build more tunnel networks or stinger sites to help defend. Here she comes. I lost 2 workers out of that one, so it's just barely hanging on. But since we got that cash 3 bounty, we're getting 400 from each plane. So it's not like, it's not the worst thing in the world, because it costs $1,500 to build a supply stash. So if you were to destroy a full airfield of bombers, then you're gonna make $100 off of that.
I warn you not to
And if she keeps doing dumb stuff with the Comanches, then I'm going to get even more cash. So we're sort of in that cycle of, okay, I build this, she destroys, I shoot him down. And we're going to keep going in that cycle over and over until something happens where we can capture an oil derrick and then get the funds up that way.
Our base is in peril.
So with the Comanches, she was able to get one of her Comanches into my base, so now I've lost control of my base one more time. I'm going to try and lure the Comanche to the stinger sites or the rocket troops, hoping that I can take control of my base and then get a new supply stash on the go here. So I try and go for stinger site, just inching my way closer and closer, just hoping that I can take it out quickly.
A warrior has fallen.
Yep, A10 only took it out of stinger sight. I think because my other buildings were a bit closer together, they targeted that one. And because the A10s flew by, it gave my stinger sights a reason to shoot down the Comanche. Again, a little bit of luck on my part, but I'll take it. So with that, I can reclaim the base, but also focus on my other moves. So I use the Anthrax Bomb to target one Avenger. Now I thought, well, if I get rid of that one Avenger, I'll have a much better chance at getting the plane inside her base, and then I could get that cash injection from like 5 or 6 Avengers, or even more later on. That's the thing, because she's got a war factory and a strategy center, she could keep busting out those Avengers, and that was what I was banking on. Just her busting those out and then me getting $400 over and over again from those, plus also getting the $400 from the planes too. So I did Rebel Ambush, took out the other Avenger. Again, that's also going to increase the odds for my Anthrax Bomber later. Now this time round, I'm trying to use the Rebels in a smarter way, trying to get them to act as a distraction so then I can shoot down the Patriot later. But yeah, as you can see, the Rebel kind of went out of bounds, and then I'm like, yeah, no, I'm out. We run. Run is the correct answer in that situation.
You may think I'm hiding, but I'm really just planning.
Do what I am told.
You don't know what to expect from me, do you?
What do you want me to do? There's not enough room for that building. I will try to hurry.
Even though this challenge, like, it didn't take too many attempts, it was just the fact that I was sitting here for over 2 hours without pausing. And I mean, I chose to do it without pausing. I try and do all my challenges without save scumming either, but I wanted to try and go from start to finish without like pausing or taking any breaks or anything like that, just so I can get the full feel of the challenge. So this was definitely a challenge where it's a marathon, not a sprint. And it's just like that. I guess like the mental endurance was the real challenge, just trying to make sure I was with it for the full 2 hours and making sure my choices were mostly correct. I mean, I did make some mistakes along the way, but I mean, we're not all perfect.
So, your overall strategy is to bore me off the battlefield.
Do not hurt me.
A warrior has fallen.
I will obey. I will do what I must.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I don't
Yep, here comes the bomber. See, this time, because there's 2 less Avengers, we can get the bomb off. And we take out 6 Avengers. So there's 5, and then there's another one that came into view right at the end there.
Oh, okay, I will work.
So with that, we got a little bit of a cash injection, so that was a bit of a gift. And now I can just focus on building up my supply stashes. See, because she keeps aiming her bombers at the supply stashes near the resources, I thought, okay, well, let's just build one off to the far left to get the worker count up.
Cannot we live in peace? That was a lot of work.
This is a warrior
I'm
has
just a
fallen.
peasant. I will do the best I can.
And with those workers, I'm trying to do my best to do a tunnel network spam, that way I can get the rocket troops up. See, with the rocket troops, I can commit myself to trying to take out the Patriot that's off to the right, near the oil derrick.
I warn you not to underestimate me.
So yeah, supply stash gonna be the bait. This time round,
I'm just amazed.
I got the cancel off. I cancelled it too soon, so the bomber was able to shoot their shot and take out my worker, but even so, I'd rather that than lose the $1,500 worth of stuff there. And yeah, once again, preparing myself to cancel out when the time comes. This time round it was Comanches. So we take those guys out. Again, it's just the Comanches, they're just staying in this one spot. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Not to underestimate me.
And we try it again. So this time round we got a few more rebels and we actually do some alt pathing to get the attention of that Patriot there. See, this is what I wanted to do much earlier on in the battle, but my rebels did go out of bounds and the Patriot's now focusing on my rocket troopers. Not good, but we did take it out. That's the main thing. So we might have lost a few guys, but one less Patriot means we can capture the oil derrick and then we can actually get some workers to defend the area for us. Now, alternatively, I could have gotten the rebel to capture the oil derrick and then the Patriot could just shoot their shots on the oil derrick itself, and then that way my guys could destroy the Patriot. So either one of those could have worked. I guess I was probably more scared of losing the Patriot in case she attacks with bombers or Comanches, because money being such a crucial factor in this battle. I mean, if we lose that oil derrick, then there's not going to be the one left, and that's going to be the most, well, that's going to be the easiest one for her to attack with the bombers and the Comanches. So go for Anthrax Bomb, get some more cash out of that. Also take out the drone, get a little bit of extra cash. See, I got a little bit of luck there with the scraps. See, the scraps weren't ranking up my infantry, they were actually giving me money, which is what I so desperately wanted.
We're waiting for you, General. What's keeping you?
Yeah, I didn't think she was going to do any more bombers at me, so that's why I cancelled that scaffold. She did A10 a stinger site. Again, no big deal. We've still got plenty of other stinger sites, but we do need to repair the oil derrick. Again, we lose that, we're going to be in big trouble. So my next plan was I was going to build a supply stash next to the stinger site. So I want to try and increase the value of that spot, so then the A10s go for that spot. and then that way there's less risk on my other stuff. And then just getting the worker count up, that way we're at safe levels.
Line attack if I were general. If you make an I'll tell them fire at you.
See, by this point, I felt like we were in a pretty good spot now. Now, I want to try and destroy some other civilian buildings and stuff like that, just so we can get another Stinger site, and then that way the oil derrick is a little bit better defended. Again, Anthrax Bomb trying to take out the Avengers. So the A-10, they did go for the spot I wanted it to, and I can just easily rebuild the tunnel network, supply stash, Stinger sites in that section, and that's because of the oil derrick we got. We're really raking in the cash now. So yeah, if I wanted to, I could commit myself to getting an arms dealer palace on the go, but I didn't think we were ready just yet, because those buildings are $2,500 a piece, and you also got to take into account the particle cannons are going to start firing on me again once I build up an arms dealer and a palace. So before we commit ourselves to that, I wanted to try and commit ourselves to this other oil derrick. I thought if we get as much cash as we possibly can, then we could safely get the arms dealer and palace on the go. Now, before I commit myself to this oil derrick, I want to defend it. So that's why we're going to get some Stinger sites. So, because we've got a lot of workers now, I feel much more comfortable about building the Stinger sites on this island without any other defense. Now, I do have the rocket troops inside the tunnel, so I could pop those out and then help defend the area, but seems like we're doing okay. Once we get those Stingers up, we can then build more Stingers around the area, and then get the Rebel to capture that oil derrick there. So here comes that A-10. They're gonna go for the supply stash. It's the most valuable thing I have. And yeah, like I said, once again, I'm okay with that. I can build that supply stash again. I'll get the extra worker, couple more Stinger sites. That'll help defend in case she does Chinook strikes. So overall, pretty good stuff.
Yes. I will do the best I can.
Shh! I sense danger may be near.
So with the rocket troops, I was like, you know what? Let's try and take out this Patriot. Just in case that building just so happens to get destroyed by like an A-10 strike or something like that, we can make sure that the Patriot won't get any shots on the oil derrick later on.
I warn you not to underestimate me.
Yes. This hammer is heavy. Do not hurt me.
Yep, so just carefully picking my targets here. I don't want the Stingers to be too close, otherwise they're going to be the target of the A-10 strike. So I'm just really picking things out carefully. So we finally captured the other oil derrick, so now we got two. So now I can actually commit myself to building up my tech tree, but I also want to build my Stinger sites up to attract that A-10 one more time. So next thing, I used my Rebel ambush, and goal was to capture the art platform as well as the supply center. Maybe. But I did also have the sneak attack, so I changed my plan on the fly here. I thought, you know what? The platform's going to go for the sneak attack, and I don't need to pop my rocket troops out. Let's just capture the supply center here. And then that way we don't lose any of the rocket troops inside.
A warrior has fallen.
So yeah, I do get A-10'd. But yeah, that building, I mean, it's sort of in, like the civilian building is sort of intact. But again, doesn't matter, the Patriot's no longer in the picture. And I've still got a few Stinger sites to defend the section. So we do capture that supply center, and that's a crucial part of the battle here, because if you destroy the war factory or the airfield, she can no longer rebuild those buildings because you need a supply center to rebuild them.
Oh, okay, I will work. I'm hungry. What do you want with me? Oh, okay, I will work. Yes. I will do what I must.
Yep, just trying to add that cash value for the A10 bait. So I evac a few rocket troops just so I can spawn my workers in and out of the tunnels. Now we finally commit ourselves to an arms dealer. I used the anthrax bomb near the airfield just to see if she's got any bombers. Didn't really care about hitting the Avengers by this point. Now with our workers, we end up building 3 palaces and a stinger site. So the 3 palaces, I know 2 of them are going to get destroyed. So one of them will get destroyed by the particle cannon, the other will get destroyed by the A10 strike. That way, the last palace remaining will be intact for us to build our Scud Storm as well as our black markets.
General, our enemy is using.
So here comes the particle cannon, and like I was saying to you before, one particle cannon is designed to go for arms dealer, the other is designed to go for tech building. Since I don't have black markets yet, it means that the particle cannon will go for palaces.
Our work is complete. Our work
Now, there's one palace that's been fully constructed. I should have kept the buildings at like 99%, that way I'd cancel out whichever one the A10s were aiming at. Not too big of a problem. It did turn the building into a GLA hull, so it does mean I'll get the palace back up later on anyway. I did lose a few rocket troops out of that, but that's no big deal either. I can just build up a couple more tunnels and then recoup those rocket troops for future attacks too.
My greatest weapon is my brain.
Not ready. Are they tools?
Yep, so now we're getting our workers building more supply stashes just to increase the value of the A10 strike bait. Now, getting some rebels to capture some power plants. Capturing power plants, that'll increase the build speed of the GLA buildings as well. But I also want to try and make moves on the top right corner and try and establish some sort of foothold. Now, particle cannons come in, she's only aimed one of them because I don't have an arms dealer. So we don't need to build any more arms dealers by this point. We got the palaces, and then we can just bait out the other particle cannon with just black markets. So that's what we're going for now. Now with black markets, I want to get the upgrades from that. There's only 3 upgrades you need. It's the upgrades for the worker shoes, the armor-piercing bullets, and the rocket upgrade. Those are the only ones you're going to need, because the other ones aren't going to be relevant in a can't build any units challenge. So with that, I can make as much money as I want from the black markets, the cash bounty, and the resources, and the oil derricks too. And then we can just build up a lot of Scud Storms. So the rocket troops, we destroyed the sneak attack, and we built 2 tunnels. So those 2 tunnels are there for a specific reason. So the tunnels that are there are actually capable of destroying the Avengers that are down below. Now we launched the Scud Storm, and of course we're going to aim for the airfield first. You aim for the airfield, no more Comanches, no more bombers, just no risk of that. Also, when you take out the supply center, she tends to wind down her attacks with the Comanches and bombers. That's just my experience playing against Alexander.
I'm hungry. This hammer is heavy. I am finished with the business.
Yep, not that we really need it, we're going to get the extra cash each time. Now, those tunnels are also within range of the supply drop zone. Now, I do a rebel ambush, and wrong place, wrong time. Normally, if you spawn the rebels in between that power plant and command center, you could capture the command center. But because of the Comanche, I couldn't make it work. Beautiful. And we're just picking off as many Rangers as possible. So, reason why we want to destroy the Avengers and that supply drop zone is because our next sneak attack will be able to fit in that little section there. It is going to catch some fire from the artillery platform, but you take the good with bad here.
Great. They will be killed.
What do you want?
And since we got a worker, we're going to go for a tunnel network. So tunnel network in this case is good because tunnel network's a little bit smaller than a sneak attack. So now we can pop our units in and out of that building, and we won't have to worry too much about that platform there. I do try and use one rebel to try and capture that platform. No such luck, but that was actually kind of a good thing because we attracted the Comanche there, and because the power plant's in the way, I didn't quite destroy the Comanche destroyed me.
Let's get in there.
So I retained the stealth on the tunnel network, so I was able to keep that one, but now she's going after my power plant, so we don't want that. We want to destroy the Comanche. Just got there, and it also means that if I decide to use another rebel ambush at that command center, I'm going to be much more likely to capture the command center, as well as some power plants and maybe the strat center too. When you capture the command center, it will attract a lot of attention from the Patriots, so it does mean that those other rebels could capture the nearby buildings too. So yeah, while we wait, we're just getting our tunnels up and waiting on our Scud Storms to be ready. Also building more Scud Storms while we wait too.
Building construction has been completed.
So with our Scud Storm, I was thinking about aiming it a little bit lower, trying to get the other Patriots in the radius, but I thought maybe we'll keep the other Patriots intact, so then we're more likely to shadow power down sooner. So that's what I decided on. And getting rid of that artillery platform is also kind of crucial here, because that doesn't rely on power. So if we can take that out of the game, I can move my infantry around a lot more freely than before. So yeah, one thing I did notice as the battle was progressing is she's not building any dozers. Normally she would build dozers and she would use them to build power plants. Now, I don't know why she decided not to, but it does mean that I can actually keep scudding her buildings until she runs out of power and then eventually beat her.
Launching Scud Storm.
So I was going to do a rebel ambush and sneak attack combo in that section, but didn't work out, so I used the Scud Storm instead, which is actually a much better idea because there's a lot more power plants. So we take out the power plants, we take out the artillery platform, again, more free movement for our infantry when we go in on that war factory. Ah, there's the dozer.
Guarding the GLA underground. Don't let them get away. There they are.
Your tactics are hardly sporting, General. Play nice.
Let's fight.
So yeah, since we knocked out her power, it means I can spawn in my rebels. It doesn't have to be in between the power plant and the command center like before. It can be, in a different spot, and then I can commit myself to capturing the nearby buildings.
We must take a higher
My
order.
greatest superweapon is my brain. Wouldn't you
The
agree,
higher
General?
order shall reign. Quick, ready yourselves.
There, I just noticed, hey, she's still got another power plant in that top right corner. So I was like, you know what, we'll go for the war factory, then we'll come back for the power plant in the top right corner. Now, I did goof a little bit here. I accidentally got the rebels to go after the fire base, and I didn't realize that one of them was still trying to capture the power plant, so she's still got two buildings. So one power plant off to the left and one off to the right. I could have also gotten the sneak attack to spawn in at the rocket troops. That way it cuts down on travel time, and then I could have taken out the power plant much sooner, but doesn't really matter. They'll get there when they get there. Yep, just checking, making sure there was no other buildings left. I was going to get a rebel to capture the power plant, but I was like, you know what, alright, Scudstorm, we'll just finish it that way. And that is how I beat General Alexander with Prince Kassad without building any units. Now, if you enjoyed this one, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I do have a playlist if you want to check out any of my other Command & Conquer challenges. I'll see you next time. Bye.
We are victorious.